Hello and welcome to the Designated Pundits. We're back after a little 1 week hiatus. Let's get after it. Hey everybody. It's nice to be back. I'm Scott. I'm here with Deon tonight. We are going to hold down the fort a little bit. It has been crazy busy for everybody. So we're going to excuse Bob and Alex tonight, and we'll do our best not to embarrass anybody. Deon, how are you doing?
Hey, I'm doing okay. I'm glad to be back. It's been it feels like it's been forever, even though it's just been a week hiatus, but I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, it does. It does feel longer than that. It just feels like we've been a little disrupted. I think some of our recap episodes also disrupted. That just makes it feel even more, extreme. But we, we didn't stop, watching. We didn't stop making picks. Before we get into the picks for this week, I actually just want to say we did make picks last week. And Bob had an up week, up 2 units. Alex and I had gentle down weeks. Overall, a very gentle down week for the show, but we're still positive on the season, which is cool. This year or this week, we'll try and improve on that. So I guess let's head over and look at some of these picks. We'll just get right into games. First up on the docket, DC United and Charlotte. That's a 2:30 start time at Audi Field in DC. Now, Charlotte is favored here, but it's plus 150 to Charlotte and plus 170 to DC United with a 240 draw. Over under, the over is set at minus 140 for 2.5 goals, plus 114 to the under. So I think it's projected we'll see some goals here. We have one official play for this, and it's you, Deon. You want to walk us through what you're thinking?
Yeah, so my play here is I'm going with Charlotte at the plus 150 because they had a terrible showing last week, losing to Montreal at home 4-1. Yes, they did have a red card. That is why Montreal did I? Yeah, Montreal.
Mm-hmm.
That's why Montreal scored 4 goals on them. They are currently on a 2-match losing streak. I just feel as though Charlotte are probably a little bit embarrassed by that loss at home, and I know that they have a handful of people out. They do have a handful of people out on injury, but you still have Taklamati, Zaha, and then I think Vargas is good off the bench, but he's most likely going to start in this one. And there's nothing good to say about DC, so I feel pretty confident that Charlotte get the job done there on the road.
I'm with you. Charlotte is. Oh gosh, I just had this. Charlotte is fifth. Charlotte is fifth in the East. They have 53 points. They're only 3 points behind Inter Miami in fourth. They're only 3 points behind NYCFC, who are in third. Right? Like, this is not an underperforming team or a low-performing team by any stretch. DC United, meanwhile, is 15th. They have 25 points. They are wooden spoon contenders. These odds kind of seem crazy to me for this kind of a matchup.
Yeah, for this late in the season. And I mean, DC only has 2 wins at home. So I don't know where they got the plus 150. But I see that Bob said even if Montreal have 8, if you have 8 or more men, yes, I agree. Charlotte still should have performed better against Montreal because I feel like Charlotte have a lot stronger side than Montreal and could have beat them and should have beat them even with 10. But yeah, I just nothing good to say about DC. 2 wins at home, only 5 altogether. These odds are unfair, and I'd like to know what they see that we aren't seeing.
Yeah, I mean, injuries and suspensions definitely in play here. Pep Beal is questionable. Bronico's suspended. Melanda suspended. Westwood suspended.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, okay. Charlotte's missing some pieces here, but I agree with you. 2 wins at home for a DC United team. I know they're playing a little bit better of late. Their last 2 games are still losses. They just got totally blown out by Philly. Yes, Philly's a really good team. Okay. Charlotte's a lot closer to Philly than they are to DC.
100%. And Charlotte need to win this to stay, for the points for position and so
Yep, a very meaningful game for their league position. They have to be careful. They're only 3 points ahead of 9th place Columbus Crew. So they do need to pick up points if they want to avoid the playing game. So a totally motivated Charlotte team, 100%. One official play. It's Deon Charlotte FC at plus 150. Moving on, we've got Montreal hosting Nashville SC. Wow, yeah. It's the FCSC thing.
get you every time.
As a league, make a decision. That'd be great. So that'll be another early start time, 2:30 p.m. Eastern. This is in Montreal at the Stade Saputo. Now, no surprise here. Nashville is favored to win, plus 100. Actually, that has walked. I saw it at minus 115 right before we started. CF Montreal around that plus 240 mark. Over under, the over for 2.5 goals is at minus 172. So we're seeing that as probable. Under at plus 140. If you look at the team totals, it's looking like Nashville's going to score the goals. This was a much more popular pick amongst the group this time. I think most of the group is in agreement towards Nashville. I think we think Nashville's the more likely team to do something here. But you and Bob have kind of contradictory plays. Why don't you go through yours first, and then I'll take a stab at Bob's logic?
Yeah, absolutely. So I went with Nashville double chance and over 2.5 at plus 100. I think the reason why I went with that, one, to be safe with, just because Nashville played midweek, and it's one of those things, maybe Montreal are filling themselves because of that win against Charlotte. But I think CF Montreal, yes, they have in their last 5, they have 2 that they have not scored and both of those were at home. But I think Nashville could easily hit that over 2.5 by themselves. I didn't see the injuries and stuff, and there's not really anybody major out for Nashville. So, I mean, I just think that I could see this one being where both teams score, and all I need is a 2-1 to hit, or, that's all I need is 2-1. Even if it was a draw 2-2, I still hit on it. So I think that I like that. I like Nashville to score. So I went with the Nashville double chance and over 2.5 at 100.
An interesting play, and I think some of the stats back you up. The over is predicted at minus 172. So that the sportsbook thinks your over is probable and Nashville's favored. So you've really combined 2 things that the sportsbook thinks will happen. And you've gotten a double chance out of it, which is cool. Bob is taking a Nashville team total at under 1.5. So he thinks they'll basically score. He thinks they'll score one goal here. And here's the man himself. Home away splits and recent form have this game as a lot closer than you'd have imagined. And yeah, that's what I was going to say is truthfully, Nashville on the road are not that good.
No, they've actually lost their last 5 on the road.
Yeah, their road form in the home and road tables, right? Their road form is only good for like 9th in the East. 5, 2, and 9. It's kind of a win-loss thing for them. And yeah, they've got in their last 5 games, they've got a big 3-loss streak right in the middle. And 2 of those games are road games. Now, I will say they're against Cincinnati and Orlando. Those are really good teams.
Yeah.
Those are not Montreal's. So I'm not overly concerned, um, but I understand where that's going. And if Montreal plays well, which they could do, then they could keep Nashville quiet. Nashville had a really quiet, kind of spell the other just like a few weeks ago. But Bob is right. It could still be a 6-0 blowout in Nashville's favor. It all really depends on Nashville, which Nashville team shows up. Overall, I think I lean towards you, and I didn't really want to get into this which Nashville team will show up. So I just went with one Nashville player who I hope will show up, which is Sam Surridge. I'm picking him as an anytime goal scorer plus 100. He continues to be one of the best, informed goal scorers in the league that's not playing for LAFC. And
Yeah.
if anybody's going to do it, I think it's going to be him. And so that's my play at plus 100. Looks like we have a small graphic error on this if you're watching on Spotify or YouTube. Deon's play has been assigned to Alex, but that's Deon's official play. Official play is Bob's got Nashville team total under 1.5 at plus 108. I've got Surge anytime at plus 100, and Deon has Nashville double chance and over 2.5 at plus 100. All right, we're going to skip a few games. We're going to go straight to Orlando City and Columbus Crew. That's a 7:30 p.m. Eastern start time. Orlando favored here at minus 105. Columbus Crew 240 on the road. The over is favored at minus 194 for 2.5 goals. The under is plus 156. Orlando team total favored for over 1.5 at minus 150. Columbus favored the under 1.5 team total at minus 170. We do have two official plays, myself and Bob. Bob just taking Orlando straight up at minus 105. And I took Orlando and over 1.5 to boost it to 115. I think Bob and I are on the same page here. Orlando is a good team in good form. They have a lot of strong players, strong goal scorers. Their defense can be good. Columbus Crew, not nearly as dangerous as they have been in years past. And just the faith goes out. Once Rossi went down with that hamstring injury, the faith went out, and he is still listed as questionable. I know there's rumors that he's going to be back, whatever. He's not going to be 90 minutes fit. Columbus Crew is a very, very different, much less threatening beast without him because they did not replace Cucho. Deon, do you have a lean there?
I would go. Whenever I first looked at this, I think that the numbers were a little bit different, or I would have went with the Orlando negative 105. I was looking at early this morning. I would lean Orlando City. Rossi is such a big part of that Columbus Crew team, and like even in my video today, I actually think Orlando is going to get a clean sheet in this. That's my prediction. But yeah, I'm definitely leaning. I like Bob's pick. I even like your pick because it's plus money. I would definitely go with either one of those.
Thank you. I really struggled to see this game as a 1-0 Orlando win. That seems really difficult to me. I don't need Columbus to contribute to this. 2-0 for Orlando is fine, and I could easily see that. I don't see Orlando scoring one and then like shutting up shop. I think it would have to be something that like Columbus would have to kind of break tradition and really bunker to keep it that low, and that's just not who they are. Columbus is going to come out and play, and so I see the score kind of going up from there. So I felt comfortable adding a gentle over.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, both teams. I mean, that's the thing. Kind of like Bob's saying there in the chat, like this could be a weird one because both teams are fighting for points. Because right now, Columbus are in that play-in game, and I believe if they would happen to win this, it would take them out of yes, they would end up
Mhm.
jumping Orlando City for that 7th spot. So, yeah, the Crew are going to come out and play, but I think especially if Orlando score first, uh, it'll open it up, and I could definitely see that 1.5 being something
Mhm.
happening right away if they go up early.
There's a lot of highly motivated teams in the East to improve their position, but I think the East is like settled as far as the playoffs go. I don't think anybody can drop out,
No,
and
everybody has clinched. Yep.
everybody's clinched, and so there's starting to be a bit of gamesmanship, I think, about how much energy do you put in getting a better seed
Hmm.
versus how much do you reserve so that you are, fit and ready to go when the playoffs actually hit. And to that point, the teams in the East have a lot more points on average than the teams in the West. I wonder if they've been working harder through the season, so they might just be a little bit more tired. An interesting thing, maybe a topic for another day. Let's go to Philadelphia hosting NYCFC, a 7:30 p.m. start time at Subaru Park. Philly is favored in this one, which isn't really surprising. They're minus 120 for the leaders of the Eastern Conference. NYCFC at plus 290 on the road. The over is set at minus 152 and plus 124 if you want the under 2.5. Team totals: Philly minus 136 for over 1.5. NYCFC plus 142 for over 1.5. Now, let's see. Now we have 3 picks on this one. Deon, you and I think we're thinking the same thing. Bob has taken this a different way.
I like
But I
this
think
Bob's way. It's
Bob's
very
is
different.
it's very different. But I think you and I have taken the obvious choice here.
Hmm.
Do you want to walk us through that?
Yeah. So in this one, I like Philadelphia in this one. They're good at Subaru Park. I mean, they've only lost one this season. So I went with them, but then we went with a double chance just in case, because again, the fighting for position in the East, NYCFC need to get some kind of result. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
I went with Philadelphia double chance and then over 2.5 because just right now, um, the Union, they're averaging 2 points, 2 goals in their last 5 matches. NYCFC are also averaging around 2 goals a game. So this could easily go over 2.5. And then also, just a fun fact to throw out there, the last 5 times that these two teams have played in Subaru Park, it has been over 2.5. So that's just a little, I mean, that dates back
Nice.
till 2021, but it it
Mhm.
it happened. So I like the over 2.5, but I went with the slight, if this ends in a 2-2 draw, it hits.
Yeah, and Bob makes a good point here. NYCFC in high spirits, just won a rivalry match, a big one. Yep, and have the wind at their back. Absolutely, they do. More importantly than that, this season NYCFC is taking an average of more than 2 points per game against playoff teams. They
Yes.
are insane against playoff teams. Um, do I think that they're going to take 3 points against Philadelphia? I don't. I really, honestly, I don't. But
And also, I believe if the Union win, they win the Supporters Shield. Also, I believe I heard
might,
that.
might do. I don't know for sure, but that could be in the cards. Um, yeah, Bob's right about this again. NYCFC, they play up to good opponents and down to bad opponents.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, they do. The thing is, I totally agree with that. And Bob's pick here is NYCFC to win either half at plus 130. I think that's clever because Philly could easily have like a 1-0, first half or something like that, 2-0 first half. NYCFC has a 1-0 second half. They win the second half and he collects,
Yeah.
right? Or they could have a 2-1 second half and tie the game or something like that and he collects. Um, I don't I don't think Philadelphia will be able to keep NYCFC off the board. NYCFC is really like finding good form. I know Philadelphia's defense is really, really good, but I think this is a game that is going to require offenses to perform because the other offense will do so.
Yeah.
And so that's what I see pushing it over that 2.5, despite the fact that both of these teams have pretty good defenses. Yeah, Bob's right. Philly could win 4-1, not score in the second half. NYCFC scores in that second half. They win the half. He collects.
Yeah.
It's the thing. I think his play is really clever because he doesn't
Mhm.
need NYCFC to win the whole game. This can easily hit while ours hits, and he gets a plus 130 out of it. So I think it's a clever way to do that. But I like the Philly double chance and over 2.5 as well. I'm with you on that one. So 3 official plays. Bob's got NYCFC to win either half at plus 130. Deon and I've got Philly double chance and over 2.5 at minus 120. All right, so let's go to Austin and St. Louis. That'll be at Q2 Stadium in Austin, an 8:30 p.m. Eastern start time. Odds for this one: Austin home favorites at plus 100, St. Louis at plus 240 on the road. Over at minus 176. Team totals: Austin minus 136 over 1.5. It's maybe a little bit favorable for a team that doesn't actually score a ton of goals. And St. Louis, an over of plus 142 for a team total 1.5. We have one play. It's Bob's. Deon, do you have a lean in this game?
So I would say that I would definitely lean towards Austin. They
Mm-hmm.
are coming off of a loss there in the US Open Cup final in the midweek. So that kind of plays a role in it. But before that, in their last 5 matches at home, there are 2 wins and 3 draws. And they're actually pretty decent at home. I mean, 6 wins, 7 draws, and 2 losses. This St. Louis team is not good, but they are in their last 2 away matches, they did win, but it is against the Earthquakes in Montreal, and the Earthquakes have fallen off big time. So I like Bob's play here. And again, I
Mm-hmm.
think whenever I looked at this earlier this morning, it was not plus 100 for Austin. I feel like it was the opposite, and it just wasn't enough for me. I like that play because I think Austin have kind of got it together here at the latter end of the season. And like I said, St. Louis is just not that great of a team this year. So I would lean Austin.
I'm with you. I lean Austin. I think Bob's got kind of a common sense play here that honestly odds for Austin maybe should be a little worse than they are. I think some of those road losses are maybe skewing that, but Austin has a plus 15% like advantage at home. They play better. That's significant. St. Louis, you're right, just not really there. Not good enough at a lot of different things this season. And then if you look at the table in the West, Austin sitting 6th, they need to perform.
Yep.
They need to perform. St. Louis is in 13th. They got 28 points. Their season is over. I know they're playing for contracts and stuff and playing for pride. They're not going to just give it to Austin, but Austin is a team that has a lot more on the line in a
Yeah,
lot of
because
ways.
I mean, St. Louis really could spoil it for Austin because they have not clinched yet. So
Mm-hmm.
if they lose, these last couple games, they could be out of the playoffs. I mean, yes, they are sitting, I believe, 6th right now, but that West is so close. St. Louis could be a spoiler.
Yeah, they're only 7 points ahead of 11th place RSL.
Yeah.
So, and RSL has 9 points, potentially to get from their last 3 games here. So definitely risky for Austin. They would need to come out. So I like that pick by Bob. All right, we're going to be back in the East here. Chicago Fire hosting Toronto FC, an 8:30 p.m. Eastern start time at Soldier Field. Chicago, the favorite, minus 210 at home. Toronto plus 500, a big plus 500 away. The over under highly favoring the over here at minus 190, 194. Goals seem to be coming from Chicago with a minus 225 over under. Let's see now. I believe that you and I both have a pick here.
Yes.
And yours is interesting to me.
Okay.
Yours is interesting to me in a big, big way because you have chosen both teams to score no draw. I'm going to spoil it. You chose both teams to score no draw, but Toronto has like 7 straight draws.
they do. And Scott, that is why I picked it, because that draw streak is a very, very long draw streak. It has to come to an end. And really that is one of the reasons why I picked that. I like the plus 120. What's funny is, even though in my video on my channel, I did predict a draw. But with that 120, just looking at it though, the 120, the draw has to come to an end at some point, like that drawing streak. But Chicago, yes, Chicago have 5 losses at home this season. They're not great at home. Very even, 6-5-5. But in their last 5 at home, 3 wins, a draw, and a loss. And their only loss was against NYCFC. Yes, the other teams, except for LAFC, the draw with LAFC, they're strong. But the other ones are St. Louis, the Revs, and the Crew. And that is a without Rossi Crew. So they won that match. They're scoring at home. They're in good form. They looked really good against Inter Miami on the road. What was it, midweek? And I just think that Chicago, even though I didn't pick Chicago to win, I just did both teams to score no draw because both teams are scoring right now. I can see Fire winning this. But yes, Toronto will score. They've been scoring. They've been getting on the board pretty much every game, except for Atlanta. Whenever they played in Atlanta a couple match days ago. But yeah, I like both teams to score no draw, just because it has to come to an end.
I mean, I believe you there. It does have to come to an end. It is a big one. Toronto, a whole bunch of 1-1 draws. A whole bunch of 1-1 draws. I looked at this and I was like, for sure, something there's got to be something here, right? Chicago is this kind of goal scoring, very fun, dynamic team in a lot of ways. They score goals, they give up goals. Toronto, of course, has 7 straight draws, so like those have to mesh in a weird way. I dug up a stat. Chicago currently is the best first half team in the league. Full stop.
I like that.
Yeah, that does their away form does skew that. I will admit. Somebody's going to look it up and be like, "Hey, their home form's not that good." Their away form definitely skews that. Their early season home form drags it, does drag stuff down, but they are a really good first half team. Toronto FC are not. They are a second half team. They typically do not do well in the first half. They typically lose the first half, and so that's how I've diced this. Chicago to win the first half. That's minus 110. And then whatever happens after that, I don't care. If Chicago goes on and wins the game, good for them. I really do think that is the most likely thing to happen. If Toronto gets their goal and ties it up, that's fine too, as long as they just do it in the second half. What do you think?
I like that play. I mean, that's a good play. I did not know that stat. So yeah, if they are the best, in the first half and Toronto is not so good, Chicago do like to score in that first half. And I feel like that's been pretty recent too. Like they're scoring in the first half. So I like that play, Scott.
Thank you. Shout out to footystats.org and also soccerstats.com for some of that. So had dug a little deep on that one. So two official plays here: Chicago to win the first half at -110, and both teams to score no draw for Deon at +120. All right. Houston Dynamo hosting San Diego FC at 8:30 p.m. Eastern kickoff time, Children's Mercy Park in Houston. This one fairly even. Houston +150 to win, San Diego +165 on the road. The sports book is seeing goals. The over 2.5 is at -164. Team totals fairly even. Both overs are close to +100. Let's see now. Who's got the play on this one? It looks like it's Bob. Bob's making an over 3.5 play here at +154. Deon, I can see your face. What do you think about it?
I don't. I would like. I can't wait to hear what his reasoning. Like, hopefully, we can get that out of him in the chat.
Mhm.
Because I would like to know, because any kind of calculation that I have done, which I have like 4 different ones that I do on my own, and none of them hit that 3.5. The max, unless it ends up being like a 2-2 draw, maybe. But I mean, neither team, I feel like, are putting up goals right now to hit that. So I don't know. I wouldn't. I don't
Mhm.
like that one. I do not like his play on that one.
I'm not in love with it either. San Diego just failed to score against San Jose, and San Diego was at home for that game. Yeah, thanks for that. Anders Dreyer really kind of let me down in that one. I'm taking that one a little bit personally. But they traveled to Atlanta and they only put up one on Atlanta. That was a 1-1 draw. Uh, they hosted Minnesota 2 match days ago, and they scored once against Minnesota. They did let in 3 though, so that would hit. Um, but yeah, there's something about this team that's gotten a little bit quiet lately. I don't know if other teams are starting to figure them out, or if they're just getting a little bit tired, or if they're just not as healthy as they were before. They do have quite a long list of um, players who are out for the season.
Mhm.
So I don't know if that really matters for them. On the other hand, for Houston, Jack McGlynn is out.
Yes.
Reigns, Darius, Tarbell, Sviatchenko suspended.
And maybe
Quinones
that's
questionable. Escobar questionable. Samasiko.
and maybe that's why he's going with 3.5, because everybody is injured for both sides. So, like, no defense. Let's just put in a bunch of goals. So maybe that's what he's seeing. I know
Maybe.
that Bob has all his kind of like formulas and stuff that he does, and all of that. So I
Mhm.
can't wait to hear what he has for that. But I could not go with 3.5. I like the +154 though, but I don't see 4 goals being scored in this one.
Yeah, I agree. I think he needs Houston to contribute, and I'm not sure who contributes to this for Houston, because I don't know that San Diego puts up 4 by themselves, not in the form that they're in. So,
Yeah.
but 50-50 that Bob's asleep already. Dude's been
He
working
has.
hard. He's been grinding hard. So we probably won't hear from him. But Bob's got over 3.5 at +154. Dean and I are dubious about it. All right. RSL hosting Colorado Rapids, 9:30 p.m. Eastern time at America First Field. Continues to be the worst field name in the league. RSL favored -145. Colorado Rapids +340 on the road. -188 to the over for 2.5 goals here. Bob, of course, is the one that has the play on this, but he wants us to talk about it. He's doing a Rapids double chance at +105. I have thoughts, of course, but I'm biased. I have a team in the race. What are your thoughts?
I could see this one. I stayed away from because, to be honest, it really, really depends on which Colorado Rapids team shows up. I feel like the Rapids have been one of the most inconsistent teams for me. And their last 5 road matches, they currently are on a 3-match losing streak away. And listen to who they've lost to in their last 3: FC Dallas,
Mm-hmm.
Sporting Kansas City, and the
Bad.
LA Galaxy.
Bad.
Like, yeah. So to me, if I had a lean, if there was a play for RSL, I would probably go RSL. And I'm pulling for RSL because I'd like to see them make the playoffs. For
Me
you,
too.
Scott, but I
I,
also I
I
love
also.
Diego Luna. Like,
Yeah.
love the guy. So um I would lean towards RSL in this one if there was some kind of play, a good play for them.
In the head-to-head matchup, uh, RSL actually has lost a couple recent games to Colorado. The last 2 are losses, but both of those are in Colorado. In Salt Lake, Colorado has only all time ever won twice. It is a remarkable record. But this Colorado team has kind of had RSL's number. RSL has played really poorly against them. They just something about the matchup is not very good. And the way the RSL has kind of struggled sometimes this season, just I really would struggle to make the pick here. I do think that the home advantage matters,
Yeah.
because there have been other years where Colorado was good, RSL was not good, but Salt Lake just is a place that Colorado struggles to play in. So I do think that matters. I would lean more towards the pro RSL play for that reason. Um, Additionally, because I think the Rapids, when Jordy Mihailovic was traded to Toronto, I think the Rapids got worse. I don't think that Paxton Aronson is as good a replacement immediately. Whatever he might be in the future, like right now, he doesn't do all the things that Georgie did for them. Um, so I'm with you there more than I am with Bob. But the double chance is
Yeah.
a nice sort of thing to be able to bring into it because a draw is possible. Although ours only has like 4 draws on the entire season, so
Yeah, that's the only thing. Like, I have a lot of my stuff is pointing to a draw. So I mean, really, that's all he needs is a draw to win that bet. So
mhm.
it's kind of a good play. I mean, for the plus 105, it might be worth it.
It would be RSL's second home draw this season if it happens.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's a collector's item. All right. Seattle Sounders hosting Portland Timbers in what is sure to be a very entertaining rivalry game. That's a 10:30 p.m. Eastern time start time at Lumen Field. I really do feel for you guys on the East Coast. Some of these games are tough to
Yeah.
stay up for, and this is going to
Usually,
be
I watch them back or watch the highlights.
this is going to be a really entertaining one. And yeah, I would not want to miss this one live. All right, Seattle favored here, pretty strongly at -170. The over 2.5 goals also favored at -194. Bob again has our lone official play. He was all over these. He's
He
got
was.
Seattle and over 1.5 at -133. I'll just lead you off right there. I like this pick. I think this is the right. I think this is the right pick. I think Seattle absolutely does win this game. This is who Seattle is. They get hot at the end of the season. They go into the playoffs strong, and then they make a significant splash. So this is who Seattle is supposed to be. How do you feel about it?
I actually like this play too. I mean, because Seattle definitely are averaging 2 goals, especially in the last 5, and then even actually the last 5 at home, they're averaging 3 goals a match. So I think that they definitely easily hit that over 1.5.
Mhm.
And I lean towards Seattle in this. I have talked about Seattle since the Champions Cup was done for them. I think that they did lose 2 there in their last 5, I believe. But I like the Seattle team, and like you said, down the stretch, they're always good to show up for the playoffs, and they have clinched the playoffs. Portland are fighting for a spot in the playoffs, but I just don't think the Timbers are good enough to beat this Seattle Sounders team.
That's what I think. I think that the Timbers just aren't enough to do the job. I don't think the Timbers are a bad team, but they lack something about the cohesion and the predictability and the chemistry to just do things, and they're not scoring goals freely. The defense is just okay. A lot of things are just okay for Portland. Seattle, on the other hand, like the worst they do is just okay in a lot of ways. Yeah, they've got a loss to Austin in Austin recently, and yeah, they went to Miami and lost. Like I don't know, it just doesn't mean that much to me. They also, they also have a draw against Vancouver, who we know is really really good. So
Yeah, and if you look at the Timbers' last 5 road matches, it's 3 draws, and 2 losses. They're not great on the road currently. Like
mhm,
they're not good on the road anyway for the season, but especially their current form on the road, not good.
yeah. The only thing I think in here that I see that kind of would bother me picking on Seattle is Obed Vargas, the midfielder, is out. Um, I do think he's an important piece to that central midfield rotation. Christian Roldan has been incredible in a defensive role this year. It'll probably be him and Brunel as the holding midfielders, with Rusnak as the central attacking player. We'll see how that goes. They're going to have to really dominate the midfield, I think, in order to like dominate this game. So, hopefully for Seattle, that trio is enough, and then the attacking group of kind of Rothrock, Jesus Ferreira, and Jordan Morris can just be dynamic and do the job.
Yep.
All right, last game, and this one interests you especially. LAFC hosting Atlanta United. I made a pick on this one to make you talk about it.
Oh, did you? Thanks.
I did. I did. LAFC favored, to the surprise of nobody. Minus 240 at home. Atlanta, a big plus 500 away. The draw plus 410. So the sportsbook really seeing an LAFC victory here. Minus 250 for over 2.5 goals. Minus 330 for the over 1.5 team total for LAFC. And that looks like plus 230 for the over 1.5 for Atlanta. So a lot of goals to one is what the sportsbook is saying here. I have an official play. I just picked goals over 3.5 goals plus 110. It's all
I,
about this dynamic duo, Buwanga and Hyungmin Sun, and nobody has figured them out. And they are scoring at will right now. And I just don't see that stopping. And I'm not here to pick on Atlanta. They're doing it to everybody. They will do it to anybody. I just think they will do it.
they're definitely my favorite in the West to go to the MLS Cup. I mean, right now with the way that they're performing, I would say that they would probably be the front runners of MLS Cup. But I like your play here. I think that it will easily hit that, and I think it easily could be done by LAFC by themselves. Just because I believe Gregerson is questionable for Atlanta there on the back line, and we're just terrible. Um, uh, we are keeping it kind of low scoring games in the last 5, but
Mm-hmm.
I mean that Columbus Crew game was wild, where Columbus went up 5-0 in the first half, but then
Oh,
Atlanta came
yeah.
back and it ended up 5-4. But what a weird game that one was. But other than that, Atlanta have kept it low. But like you said, Sun and Bawonga, they're just fun to watch. And I
Mm-hmm.
think that they're going to continue to do it. And really, you just need a 3-1 victory for LAFC to hit that. Because I mean, that's what it would be. Atlanta ain't no way Atlanta's winning this 3-1.
Look, I mean, Atlanta can score 5 goals. I don't care. Uh, I would watch that. Yeah, you've kind of nailed it. I just think that this team is so dynamic. I actually watched LAFC when they came to Salt Lake a few weeks ago. As a team, as a whole entire group, I don't know that I've seen a team that in the league that has come through recently who plays at that level. Not just like one or two players. I know we talk about Son and Bouanga is the best duo, yeah, whatever. That whole team is playing at such a high level,
Mm-hmm.
right? That is like it reminds me a little bit of like peak Columbus. Columbus played at such a high level um a few years ago. This LAFC team is kind of like that. The whole group has just elevated, and in some ways, like, they look like they're playing a different sport
Yeah.
to the rest of the league. And I think that is the thing. That is the thing that enables these other guys to go out and be the incredible goal scorers they are, because LAFC as a team is dominant all over the field.
Yeah.
I
I
just
mean,
don't
bringing
know
in
don't
Sun
know
was
what
the
else to
best
say
thing.
about him.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, back to the duo there. Like, bringing in Sun was the best thing for Buwanga. I don't know if we talked about it on this channel or who I talked to about it, but um, we talked about Giroux, and he
Mhm.
just didn't work for LAFC.
Yeah,
And
bad fit, just the
yeah,
wrong profile.
yeah, and like I really thought with that it would open up Buwanga to be like the star that I believe he is. Bawong is the type of player I feel like he needs to really, really shine. He really needs that like counterpart, and here we're seeing it like with Sun. Because like when
Mhm.
Bawonga didn't really have anybody up top, like I don't feel like Bawonga can be that sole guy that you lean on. I don't know if that's the best way to put it, but like as soon as he has someone that is good alongside him, like Sun, he shines too. Like I don't know.
Mhm.
I don't really know how to explain it better than that, but
Yeah. He definitely he was doing business. He's been doing business all season.
oh yeah,
I made picks on him to, as a goal scorer, as shots on target. He's been a machine as a main point man for LAFC, but having a more dynamic goal scorer around him has definitely enabled him to have more space and opportunity to work with, and that has allowed him to raise his game again. Absolutely, for sure, a really good point. All right, we are at 48 minutes. Bob would never. let's uh let's just cap this off here. Match day 38 official plays. Here's our list. There was another little graphic error where it's missing my Chicago first half pick, but don't worry about it. In our accountability, moment where we post what happened, that'll all be fixed. We're tracking everything. So there's our match day 38 official plays. It's time for us to kind of get back on track. We've had some weird weeks where we went down, but I feel good about
I,
these picks.
me too. And life's busy, you know. We all have, we all have lives, and also time difference with you. Like sometimes it's hard to get us all all at the same time. But I'm glad to be back.
True.
It definitely missed it.
It's good to be back. Well, Deon, thank you. Everybody, enjoy the weekend, enjoy the games. We'll see you again for one last regular season week before we head into the postseason. So, from us, thank you and have a good night.